Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today is the last of this series of where I have an arrowhead and a zigzag bracelet combined. This is the smallest version that works out really well. It's 4 colors, 8 strings going to the loop or 16 strings coming down, and I did it with single stranded knots, making it really thin, which makes the whole bracelet overall is like 1.5 cm wide, which is really small. Like it's smaller than my index finger, side to side. It's really super cute. I love the colors. Went with kind of a bright, fiery set of colors where it's like a purplish, like magenta, I guess that is. I think that's what that one is. Then red, orange, and yellow, giving it kind of a really nice fiery look. It took me just over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 11 minutes of actual knotting up the bracelet. That did not include making the kumi loop or getting the strings set in the right order. So yeah, take that, into account a little bit longer, but a couple hours, not too bad. It's by this point, obviously, it's feeling pretty familiar. Like I'm kind of gotten used to the overall way that it works and stuff. And this one has, you can see right here in the little corners, the little tiny gap. It's like my normal process for when I'm doing the arrowheads. Like it's like my favorite way of doing it. Mathematically, it seems like I could go one bit smaller, where it would be like 3 colors and then like 12 strings, I guess. But I think the edges would be weird, like the same as what happened when we did the 5 color 20 string bracelet. I think it would turn out kind of weird and whatever. I think this is the smallest you can get and still have a nice looking arrowhead to it. That said, it is a very interesting pattern. It is very striking, the fact that it is off-centered, and for a guy who like really loves symmetry, doing an asymmetrical bracelet, it feels really off-brand, but at the same time it's an arrowhead, and like I've done so many different types of arrowheads and tried different things, over the years. So I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think this is going to be a fun one to add to the bunch of bracelets. You never know. Like when you go out and like when I do like an event where I have all my bracelets on display, I've never seen people go, oh, well, this is obviously much more difficult, or this is much more. They go with the vibe, they go with the feel. There's no telling what people are going to ask for when it comes to the bracelet. Sometimes it's they want a certain set of colors, and it didn't matter what the pattern was as long as it's the colors that they were looking for. Sometimes it's completely different, but I think that somehow this bracelet is going to call to somebody big time. There's just a lot of fun elements to it, and I have to say I really do like it. It's, I don't know if I could say which is the favorite out of the series. Possibly the biggest one, the 8 colors, 32 strings. That one was just amazing because it's 8 colors and it's a rainbow. If you haven't seen my previous, thing about rainbows, rainbow is like having a fade of colors, but like when you do a fade of blue to white, once it comes back around, you have a strong contrast between the lightest one and the darkest one. When those two come together, if you go beyond like one set of those colors. But a rainbow is very different. A rainbow kind of keeps continuing on with that flow, where there is no sharp edge of where it begins or ends. It's a continuous thing. And even this, the yellow comes up against the purple, there's a real strong contrast. So it doesn't have that same kind of flow that the rainbow ones had. So that those are probably my favorites, just because of that kind of flow that it has. That said, this still has a fun look to it, like flames and stuff, you know, like you have like the hotter part of the flame, the blue part, and then it kind of goes to the red, orange, and yellow, you know. So there, it is kind of a fiery look to it. But yeah, it's all personal taste, you know. I try to create as many different things because everybody's an individual, and you never know what they're going to really appreciate there. Speaking of appreciation, let me just thank my YouTube members. Seriously, guys, I'm not some big time YouTuber that's making hundreds of dollars or anything crazy. So I definitely rely on my members to help me to be able to buy the floss and to have the stuff here to be able to put on these videos. So it's yeah, I couldn't do it without them. So in turn, though, I try to make it kind of worth their while by giving them videos in advance, or hangouts, or you get the little smiley faces next to your name when you're in the live chat, which is kind of cool. Kind of, I don't know, kind of makes you just a little bit more noticeable, I guess. I think it's cool, though. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's a Monday. What can I say? Kind of a little bit out of it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I kind of took from this bracelet. Oh, I did think it was kind of nice that there was just it came across that purple color 4 times, and then the ending is shortly thereafter, and the fact that it all comes to one like nice long point. It kind of felt like doing the end was kind of a little bit easier, I guess. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't mind that at all. Oh, I did have to take a break midway through this thing. My hands started cramping up really badly. I have no idea what that was about. It could be that, I don't know, maybe I had had too much coffee, and I've read somewhere that like if you drink too much coffee or whatever, you'll lose, what is it, the magnesium or something, and that can lead to cramps. So I don't know, maybe that was it. All I know is that I had to stop. My hands were just like contorting in ways that just made it impossible to go. So, and I did make this during a live stream, so that's another thing, behind the scenes videos of live streams for the members. Yeah, so if you want to see it like done in real time, and you can see like how I take breaks and stuff, every like 30 minutes I stop and take a drink and, you know, just kind of chill out for a minute, maybe check my phone. I really want to stop checking my phone as much, because it's so easy to get caught up in like all the other things that you can do with the phone these days. So yeah, but it's also nice to take a break from the nodding, give my hand a rest, and get back to it. Because the pattern repeats, I can't look at this and just be like, oh, there it is, I'm almost to the end. I have no idea where we are at with this. No idea. If you want to try this yourself, the pattern is available on my website. I have a whole webpage for each one of the patterns. And then, yeah, if you want to share that with me, you can do it by tagging me on Instagram, or you could go through Discord, which is kind of fun. I kind of like the Discord thing because, you know, we can share works in progress or finished ones or whatever. It's kind of neat. Heck, we even share pictures of each other's pets, which is also very cool. Some of you guys have some really cute dogs or cats. So. Let's see if I can see. Oh, there we go. We have like 3 minutes left. What can I tell you in 3 minutes? Oh, this is a more intermediate bracelet. It is not a beginner's thing, even though I probably said it was a lot easier. It's still a lot of zigzags, a lot of keeping track of things going in different directions. So it is a bit more intermediate. Not terribly, not too crazy. It does use the strings fairly evenly, so you can, not worry too much about string length. Plus, they cross over each other enough, so if you find one is getting shorter, you can trade it with one of the longer ones. So, although I did not do any of that, I just let everything go the direction it was going and just went with that. There's a lot of places where you could just kind of, instead of changing the direction, you could have just gone straight and leave it. It would be fine. But I didn't. It really is pretty. I think this is that the last yellow? Maybe. Yeah, as I get towards the end, I probably get a little bit faster because there's the whole excitement of nearing the end of the project. Had a few times where the knots that started to form at the end of the strings, you might see me pulling out the knots here and there. It really bothers me when it happens. So yeah, that's the little thing there. I'm trying to analyze it, like, are we really at the end? It is, right? Yeah, this is the red kind of then comes around the little purple thing. So yeah, if you have questions, leave it down in the comment thing below. I do try to answer everybody. And then if you haven't already, you could hit that like button. That would be awesome. That helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost you anything. It just sort of tells YouTube that, my stuff is nice. It is kind of nice, right? So yeah, this is the very end. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me though. I do appreciate it. And finish up this little bit here and the big reveal, show you how it turned out. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.